A significant ruling from the UK's highest court is getting the attention of LGBTQ+ activists around the world. The UK's Supreme Court has ruled the legal definition of a woman is someone born a biological female. The decision comes after a long-running legal battle and could have major implications for how sex-based rights apply across Scotland, England and Wales. With more on all this, I'm joined by Bev Jackson. She's the co-founder of LGB Alliance, which made arguments in this case and is supporting it. Bev, LGB Alliance welcome this Supreme Court ruling as a, quote, historic victory for lesbians. Thank you for being with us. Explain to us why this is the case.
Well, this is a thank you so much for having me on, and really pleased to meet you. I was very moved by the story about coming out as a gay man in Chechnya. Very brave. But anyway, yes, this case has been coming for years. It's been fought primarily by a very valiant group of women for Women Scotland, who have been fighting to get the definition of woman and sex clear in the UK Equality Act, very different, of course, from the draft Equality Act in the United States. They wanted it made clear that woman and sex refer in our UK Equality Act refer to biological sex. And we joined them, LGB Alliance, an organisation I co-founded in 2019, together with some lesbian groups. We wanted to make it clear why it's so important that that sex and woman, that they refer to biological sex for lesbians. Lesbians have been overlooked in this whole struggle that's been going on. Sexual orientation is about sex. It isn't about pieces of paper, whether someone has a certificate saying that they're now considered a woman, which you have in the UK, a gender recognition certificate. And our opponents
Bev, forgive me for
say
interrupting.
that if you have this, sorry.
Forgive me for interrupting, but you'll know that this is hugely controversial. I mean, in your mind, clearly it's not a controversial issue. It should be addressed, and it's been addressed by these judges. But Amnesty International, they are among groups saying that this is effectively going to kind of really damage the right, undermine protection for transgender individuals.
Yes, I realise that, and that is why it has been so difficult for us. When we set up LGB Alliance, we're basically redoing what I did 50 years ago. I'm a founding member of the UK Gay Liberation Front back in 1970. And what I'm basically doing now is fighting for the same rights now as I was then. It's about homosexuals. Same-sex attraction between men and between women, which is, you know, it's not dependent on gender, which is a gender identity some people have. I don't have a gender identity. Sexual orientation is about sex, and that's why we feel that the LGB movement really has to separate from the TQ+ movement, because their interests are not the same. We are not against the people who define themselves as transgender. They have their rights, and they should have their own groups and fight for their own interests. But they are not the same as the interests of lesbians in particular. If a lesbian group, and we see that in the Supreme Court ruling, if a lesbian association has to admit men who define themselves as women and in some cases as lesbians, then that undermines the autonomy and dignity of lesbians. And so we're really pleased that the UK Supreme Court found for us, and we hope that we are inspiring lesbians and gay men around the world to follow us.
Yeah, I mean, as a gay man, I completely understand what you're saying. These are separate issues. You know, same-sex attraction and gender identity are different things, but the gay rights movement was in many, many ways founded, spearheaded by people from the transgender community, and they will say that you're excluding them from that.
I was there. We didn't. There were no the
Stonewall. I'm talking about in particular, but
yes, and
others.
Stonewall, which was started off by a lesbian, and the people who started off Pride in the United States were gay men and lesbians.
Well, there were trans women who were involved in the early days of these movements. I think the point, though...
It is controversial.
It is controversial, but the point I'm trying to make is that these groups will say, if we're fighting for the rights of trans people or lesbians or gay people, why is it not right for people to come together to fight this? Because there is massive discrimination, whether you like it or not, against trans people. That the discrimination exists. So why not join together with them in order to fight that discrimination? Why do you need these different groups?
Thank you really for asking that question, because unfortunately, in some cases, their interests are actually opposed. So if lesbians, for instance, would like to meet together because they have all sorts of things in common, I have lots of things in common with other lesbians. I don't have much in common. I really don't have anything in common with a man who has decided at some point in his life that he actually feels like a woman. That he has every right to meet with other people who have in common who have things in common with him, but he doesn't have anything in common with lesbians. And I think these interests are not the same, and that's why we formed, and we were the first organisation in the world to say no. We do not believe that everyone has a gender identity. We do not believe that gender identity can overrides sex, and we believe that sex really matters. It matters to sexual orientation, it matters to women, and it matters for children's interests. Children are being taught that you can change sex, and we think that that's wrong,
Right.
and we think it's confusing, and we're really pleased with this ruling.
Bev, thank you so much for joining us. This is an issue that touches communities all around the world. It's incredibly controversial and a lot of people are watching, but thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.